Hot dog! Hello there. It's your old friends. I'm Egil.
And I'm Braggy.
We're both storytellers. And don't forget, click on the card at the side there. Leave us your comments because we're always glad to hear from you. And hope you enjoy it. I'll hand you over now to our host, Braggy.
Yes, and as you know, I am Braggy, the son of Magnar. And I am a Viking Scot. I'm a poet and a warrior. And today we are filming the 9th episode of, yes, you know, you've heard it, you've seen it before, it's the weekly Viking vlog. One day we'll have some music for that. Anyway, so what do you think then? 9 episodes in
Well,
to a vlog series.
To be honest, you've said it before and I've said it before. I never thought we'd reach this far, but I'm glad we have. And to all our friends across the world, thank you very, very much. I know I speak for Braggy when I say we appreciate your questions and we enjoy answering them as well.
Yeah, we do love your comments, and your comments do make the channel for us, as well as the content itself, of course.
Yeah.
But yeah, your comments are always brilliant. I always enjoy reading them, and I always enjoy answering your comments.
Certainly keeps me on my toes.
Do you read the comments?
Yes, I certainly do. I mean, people are good enough to write them down. You should be good enough to read
them. Definitely. I mean,
and reply. We'll
get to the stage one day when we'll be having hundreds of comments on videos and then thousands.
Ah, well.
So,
who knows?
Those will be very long vlog episodes. Yeah, so episode 9, the special episode number.
Lucky 9 in the Viking world.
9. I think it's always been one of my favourite numbers, along with 7 and 3.
Well.
And here it goes again with the... Oi! Yes, you have to put up with that noise. It's one of the creations of Loki in the background working.
Also, other people are doing gardening, so don't worry about it. We'll talk louder.
Yes, we'll have to talk louder.
I'd love to find the guy who invented the leaf blower.
At least it's not a motorbike this week.
We had a chainsaw earlier on.
Yeah, I think that is a chainsaw. Meow. That's a motorbike impression. I don't know why I did that. Anyway, so what you've been up to in the last week? Let's talk about post updates.
I've been carrying on with the 5-2 diet.
Oh right, yeah.
Tomorrow's a fast day. You get used to it, to be honest with you. It is working. I know you can't see it, but I've got to get this belly down so that the old diabetes and the blood sugar sort of gets into remission.
Yeah, well there's a report out, I think last year, stated that slightly overweight men make better lovers.
Chance to be a fine thing, I'll tell you.
So there's that one.
Yeah, well.
But it makes you think about diets in the times of the Saxons and the Vikings. You know, if you're slightly overweight over winter, you know, would you have gone on a diet? Would you have said, Olaf, you're too fat, you need to go on a diet, mate?
Fat people were so rare,
yeah.
They'd be like football stars of the day. I seem to remember there was somebody called Punch Swinger, but their idea of fat and our idea of fat is a little bit different. You've got to accept that for the majority of people, food was a scarcity. You ate a lot of vegetables and pulses, hoo-wee before you say it.
Yeah, peas and beans.
The meat would be more available at the end of the year, hence Christmas tide, when you killed off the stock that you couldn't afford to keep. You kept your best ones, the ones that you could afford to keep, and the rest had to go. And what you'd do is you have house-to-house feasting and drinking, which sounds very civilised to me.
Well, it does indeed. I mean, I'd love to be invited to people with long houses for a good feast, wouldn't you?
Yeah, well.
Sounds to be a fine thing.
Unless it's only feast fasting days.
Well, yes. Would they have fasted more regularly? What we do in modern society?
A lot more. I mean, you're used to 3, maybe 4 meals a day.
Well, no, yeah.
Sometimes they'd have 1 meal a day, sometimes they wouldn't have any. Depends on the weather.
I get like that when I'm too busy editing videos or playing on Minecraft.
Now, there is a way you can actually tell on the skull. If you look at a human skull, the gum line, where the gums were, if you see a white band, that means that person has gone a considerable time undernourished.
Oh, right.
So what happens is, imagine your tooth is like a tree.
Yes.
Every year you get a ring of bark, if you're a human being, obviously a ring of
Just
enamel.
thinking whether to clean my teeth today.
Yeah, well,
Now.
having said that, if you're hungry and the crops have failed, your food goes into keeping you upright. Forget the tooth enamel and things like that. Next year it comes right again. And what happens is, it leaves a permanent white mark. And that's carried through. Doesn't matter whether you've been dead a year or 2,000 years, it's still there. I looked at scrolls from the 18th century, so-called high status, and they too have got white bands on. We have become complacent. You heard of people say, oh, meat doesn't come in little polystyrene packages. Well, you'd be lucky if you saw meat, even 200 years ago.
In what would be the most common meat ate during the Dark Ages?
That's interesting, depending on your status. If you're a wealthy man, you'd have things like venison, and you'd have wild boar. Beef, possibly. I would have thought more likely sheep. It's possible.
And were venison farmed like traditional animals, or were they just shot in the wild?
Not in the way that you or I would understand gamekeeping. You had massive forests, like Epic Forest, which is a royal game preserve, and you kept out people who were trying to kill them for food.
Well, of course so.
But they bred naturally, and of course you have things like wolves which would predate on them. Wild boar would be around. Again, food item, which you had to be very careful about catching.
Well, boars are very lethal to catch.
Tell me about it.
Perhaps we'll talk about that at a video. We'll talk about wing spears and boar hunting.
Yeah, there's very interesting parts on that. So, food was not as common as we have it today. So, yeah, thin people were the norm.
Thinner than what we would have been.
A lot thinner than we would have been. I mean, if you look at clothing from the Victorian period, 12-year-old girl size would be about adult size for a woman.
Wow. Yeah, well, they were a lot thinner in those days.
It's
Food was
diet.
scarcer. Less money around.
Mm.
And what have you been up to in the last week? We've gone off slightly off subject on that one.
Alright. What else have I done? Not a lot, to be honest with you. Catching the rays while we can.
Have you been reading any content for the channel?
I've been having a read of a few folk tales. But don't be fooled by this weather, America. This is about 3 weeks slot we get, and then it's back
This is
to
summer,
rain.
then it'll be back to raining again.
Oh yeah.
Well, that has been a spectacular year so far, and whilst it's like this, we should try to get out often and film.
Yeah.
Take advantage, unless you want to be sitting in the garden in winter.
Well, the trouble is, at the moment we have the World Cup. I hate football, and it's full of drunken men in shorts going England.
Yeah, well, real men don't wear shorts.
Yeah, you try telling them that.
Yeah, it is a very well-known fact that you cannot possibly survive in the wild in shorts.
Yeah, I know, but they still unfortunately do.
I very rarely wear shorts. It has to be like 35 degrees for me to get in shorts.
I just don't wear them unless you're fighting Rommel or exercising.
Well,
you don't
yeah,
need
if you're in the army and you're wearing shorts, I think that's permitted, or you're on holiday, then that's allowed. If you're in a very hot climate like America, it can be 90 degrees at 8 in the morning over in Alabama. So yes, that's permissible. But in the UK, people should not wear shorts. I'm sorry. Anyway.
Unless you're 12.
Now, it does make you think about shorts. And did they wear shorts? I mean,
no.
Would a child have a hand-me-down pair of breeches?
If you stand up a minute.
Well, I will stand up. I hope you can see my head.
This would be mostly what the men would wear. So forget the trousers, the puttees, and all the other accoutrements. They'd have this long, well, we call it a skirta.
A skirta.
Which is where you get the word skirt and shirt from. So they'd be wearing that. And
they can see me up here.
yeah,
Hello.
Okay, you can sit down again. There'd be no boxer shorts underneath. So
it was in my dad's time, because he grew up in the 1940s. When you got a pair of long trousers, when you became a man. I always found that quite fascinating.
Well, even in my age, your first suit was a big occasion. incidentally ruined by my father, but let's not dwell on it.
That's another story.
But your first suit was a big important thing. You went to Burton's, that's a multiple tailor we used to have it made to measure, and that was your best suit. In many cases, your only suit.
Oh. So I suppose you want to ask what I've been up to in the last week.
Okay, what have you been up to in the last week?
Well, channel-wide, well, on Friday night gone, I went out in the garden and I recorded 3 folk tales. And one of them was the 3 Sillies.
It's all coming out.
And that was a folk tale which somebody, I think it was Odin or Theomir, left it in a comment saying this the story when you told the Village of Idiots reminded him of the 3 Sillies. And so I've been wanting to learn that story for some time, and I pretty quickly learnt it on Friday night again and told that one. I then I did 2 more stories on Friday night, but I can't remember what they are at the moment.
3 Sillies, you did tell me.
Then I told you one I recorded on Monday night.
Yeah.
I can talk about them because they're more fresh in my mind. So on Monday night, I often do my filming when I'm on my own, because it just takes less time from when I'm filming with Eggle, because naturally when Eggle's around I want to concentrate filming with his content, or on our content together. Hello! So I tend to film my content generally in the evening on my own or the afternoon. So on Friday I did 5 videos. The first video, which you've already seen, which came out yesterday, would be the sons who salted the father's corpse. And that is a kind of a 16th and 17th century folk tale. It has a feeling of being a much older folk tale. And do you know the story?
No, I don't actually.
Well, I'll just record it briefly for you and give you a bit of a spoiler ahead of time, although you've already seen this story anyway. So you had a farmer and he had 2 sons. And it was harvest time. And suddenly their father died. He was long in the beard, he was old. And the sons, well, it was autumn and it was very nice weather like this, so they could not bury him, they had to go and get the crops in. So they decided that they're going to put him in the cellar. Well, in this case I changed it to a Gruber house, which is a sunken floor house. Gruben house, yes. I always get that slightly wrong. And I made it into like a storehouse, and they put him on a cheese table, and then the older son said, well, we'll salt him up to preserve him, hence the title. So they salted the father up, they bumped up his nose and his ears for some reason, and then they left him and carried on getting the harvest in. That was an important job to do. If you're too busy burying your father for a week, you're missing that harvest time. So for 3 weeks this continued, where they left their father's corpse in the Gruben house and on an old milk table, all salted up, and 3 weeks passed and it started to rain, and they thought, well, it's about time we went to saw the local priest. So he said, our father's died. And said, oh, I'm very sorry to hear that. When did he die then? 3 weeks ago. He said, 3 weeks? He said, yeah, 3 weeks. I said, I bet his body stinks. I said, no, he's sweet as a pea. We salted him up and we bunged up his nose. And then the priest was disgusted and walked away, and that's the end of the folk tale. And I kind of assumed that they must have buried him themselves. So I told that one. I told a folk tale called The Hedge Priest, which is about a priest who gets trapped in snow, and that's a local Derbyshire folk tale. I then told a folk tale called The Hammer Called Smiler.
Oh, Sam.
And that is about it's about a man who's a bit silly and he talks to objects, and his job is basically to work on the roads, because during the time the Roman roads would have been in a very poor state, so they must have somehow maintained the roads to a degree, and this man was basically employed to smash stones up. And he found this massive stone and he couldn't smash it, and in the end he tried a few hammers and was talking to it, and I told that folk tale. Then I did a video on farming in the age of Anglo-Saxons, and that went to about 18 minutes. And I'm just generally talking about the farm animals and what they ate and the crops, and also related to the crafts as well, related to the farm. So I hope you enjoy that video, and me and Eggle might make a part 2 for that.
Also, we've got a robin in this garden, and if you see him, let us know. And disregard the noise. It's either a hedge trimmer or the cat has got a mother dog.
Oh no, it's one of Loki's devious animals he invented. We're back in the dog age.
Ignore it. Ignore it, it just happens.
Yes, unfortunately we do have these problems, and are they? On another time, it would have been nice to wait, but we can't afford to wait. We've got content to make,
Yeah.
and Eggle's got to get his dinner tonight,
Yeah.
earlier than last week.
Yeah. And,
So I've been out, I told some folk tales, I've been reading a few more books. I bought a few more books, including the Dictionary of British Folklore, or folk tales from Catherine Brigson. Catherine Brigg, I think. That's a brilliant book. So I've been reading that. I've also invested in a couple more battery packs, cheaper ones, just so that we don't have no issues. So that's it really, that's all I've been doing. I've not really been making anything or sewing, it's been a bit too warm.
Well, you've had other things on your
And
mind.
I've had other things in mind. My dad's still in hospital, give you an update on that.
Hang in there, Cyril.
He should be coming home in a couple of weeks, he's now in respite, but he is looking a lot better.
Oh, that's good.
So
that's about it then,
that's
isn't
about
it?
it for my update for what I've been doing. We've gone over 8,000 views. I think I told you that last week. Of course, we've had 100 videos on the channel since last week, so that's a celebration. And you know, it's quite amazing when you look at some of these other big YouTubers like History of Hurlbut or Survive the Jive.
Be nice.
You know, especially History of Hurlbut. I think he's got like 125 videos on the channel. So I assume he must delete some of them as he goes along, which I've never understand that. So it kind of, in one sense, it kind of makes you think, well, perhaps we should have more subs by now, but it does take time. It takes time for the momentum, and it's not really how we had 3 months this year about content. But we don't intend to break, do we? We intend to just keep putting content out week in, week out.
It's what we do.
And I think currently we're just about to start scheduling into August now, our videos. So we are quite ahead at the moment.
Let's keep it that way.
So the next section of this vlog is we're going to talk about what videos we've filmed today. But so far we've not filmed any, have we?
No, we thought we'd deal with the vlog first, and that was a good idea.
Yes, normally we film the vlog at the end, but
Yeah.
after last week's battery fiasco, yeah, it was a bit of a fiasco, which meant we had a much shorter vlog of about 36 minutes, which normally it would be an hour. We decided to film the vlog first because that's the most important video we need to get out. So we are planning to do a couple of things today. I think we're going to make a video if we get time just talking about the sagas, and that's something we'll talk about in a second about the sagas. And we're also going, and Eggle's going to film a video. We'll talk about that briefly, like your saga.
Yes, I'll be interested to see what people think about it. This is not from any book.
No, it's not an official saga.
I'll explain the background to it first. When I did reenactment to the Derby group, as was, I was told we had to invent a story as to how we got to Derby. Derby being a Danish town didn't take to me much because I was Norwegian.
Well, Chiquita are like that, they're Danish.
Yeah, well, that's just the way of it, because I was up in York when I first did reenactment, and I came out with a story which is quite gory, and although I thought it was quite amusing. I hope you like it. Please let me know what you think, because maybe that's the way to go, maybe that's not a way to go. We only know how good or bad we're doing by your comments.
Yeah, it was make-up content. Although we do have a precedent of one other piece of content which you've not seen yet, which is the folktale I've made up, which is called Gunnar the Giant and the Dragar of the Barrow, and you'll see that when we get 400 subs. So the idea of this one is to make it the 500 sub shout out, I think, which is kind of giving you a spoiler ahead of time. So if you want to see those 2 videos, I urge you to go out and spread the word and get us more subs, because then, you know, I'll publish them straight away as soon as we get 400 and 500 subs. So what we'll do, we'll film an introduction video for it either before or afterwards. So I think probably afterwards would be better for you, to let you get on and tell the tale.
Yeah.
And yeah, there's that. So, and I think we're going to do a video just talking about the sagas. Although let's just chat about sagas now. It's not something. Although the sagas are in our title of the name of the channel page, but it's not something we've done a lot of content on recently. But we are going to address that.
Yeah.
I'm very soon going to record Illusions. You've already seen that tale from Neo. I'll put it in a card up there for you if I remember. And if I don't remember, then please somebody leave it in a comment telling, "Oi, Braggy, you missed the card again." And I'd just like to say thank you to somebody who did do that for us, and we'll talk about that as we do the comments and later on and questions. I'll read that comment out.
Yeah.
So we are going to do more content of the sagas, and I'm thinking about, well, perhaps I might choose one saga and then start learning that and tell it in a series for you. So we've got some saga content going out.
Yeah, I mean, it's interesting to talk about the saga as a concept. I mean, we could talk about that at a later time, but there is, I think, interesting content which I think would be interested for the viewers to comment on as well.
Well,
you know, as
definitely.
history and entertainment, it's a winner in my view.
Yeah, I mean, if you know Dr. Jackson's channel, I can't remember his first name, but I forget now. His channel is really great for the sagas. And, he's a professor in studying sagas, which is fantastic.
Whereas we're just a pair of saga lads.
Oh yeah, well you're more qualified than I am. One of the problems I have with the sagas is the pronunciation. And then you also have the fact that, well, if you're planning to tell the whole saga, then it's a lot to learn.
Yeah.
So I don't think we could possibly sit around for 3 hours and tell a whole saga in a video.
As regards pronunciation, I mean, it depends where the person's from. I knew a lass.
Well, there's that.
I knew a lass who studied Iceland. I pronounced my name Egil,
Yes.
and she pronounced it Aegil.
Yes.
So that's
We've had
Icelandic.
that in a comment.
Yeah, nice lass as well. But she translated sagas from the old Icelandic to English. Yes, I know some Flash people. But yeah, so you know, wherever you get 2 or more people, you're going to get people saying, "Oh, that's not pronounced right." Yeah, it's just.
I mean, I might think about covering what you call the romantic sagas. I have a Penguin book on that. You know, the saga of Odd.
You're not going blue, are you?
No.
Raggy goes blue. I'd watch that.
He's like, you know, the saga of Bartman when he covers himself in bark armour. That's a fantastic saga. That. I'm not sure you read that one. I might tell that one. And the sagas from that book. Then you can concentrate on Egil saga. If you just do that as a series, that'd be fantastic.
Yeah, that's going to take about a year.
Well, we've got a year.
Yeah.
Would you like to see that? Please leave it in a comment.
That's
So
a good story.
yeah, so we are going to cover the sagas a bit more in the future. Which also brings me on to another subject, which is the channel name.
Uh-huh.
I know Northworthy Sagas and Stories is a very long name at times.
Yeah.
I'm not sure when we do get properly branded whether that will suit us in the long run. I hope it will do. I mean, what are your thoughts on the name? I'd like to see what our subs' thoughts on the name.
Yeah. I mean, personally, I think it's okay. I can't think of anything else off the top of my head.
So originally I was going to call the channel Viking Sagas and Saxon Stories, but by doing that I'll be limiting the channel.
You're omitting the folk tales as well, aren't
Yeah, I mean, the folk tales come under the story section, but we're having Northworthy at the beginning. It gives us that wider concept of what we can do to a degree, I think. So it's just something I don't want to mention on camera. What are your thoughts about the channel name? I think it was a combination of me and Tick here who thought about the channel name.
Yeah, I thought it would be with a mention of Northworthy.
Northworthy, yes.
He's a Saxon. Scratching when you find a Saxon in your name.
Well, a Saxon file is the correct term for anybody who's into anglo-saxons.
Well, the sad irony is, although I am a Viking here, I'm actually descended from Saxons. So.
Yeah, well, we love the Saxons equally as much as we love the Vikings.
Christian ones are that.
Yeah, well, you know, somebody had to fight the lions. Anyway, so I was thinking actually there of a song by Leonard Cohen actually at the same time. That's why I mentioned that. But let's not get depressed listening to Leonard Cohen. I find him very cheerful. So that's that. Just talking about the sagas, and I might actually put the sagas in the title. So, video ideas. What video ideas have we got? Now, we're not doing any memes yet. I know we have promised some memes, and I'm hoping at some point in the next couple of weeks, Eggle's going to record a folk tale for you in the voice of Mr. T.
I've been at the poor fool who don't like Mr. T.
Yeah, so if you want to see that, I urge you, please urge you to go and leave lots of comments urging Eggle to get that recorded. And
don't do no flying.
then they're going to record a meme about the Daynats versus the printer. Although,
I would like to see that.
yeah, well, you're going to be in it. In fact, you can do the narration. What I'm trying to struggle with is the whole concept of the meme. I mean, is it going to be simply 3 or 4 minutes of me smacking up a printer? Or are we going to talk on it a bit, narrate it, you know?
Trust me.
Perhaps you could hold the printer and have a shield and charge me with it.
I think not.
No.
No, I suggest you put it on the ground,
Yeah.
preferably with a sheet.
We could do an introduction, which is better, which is
Beat 7
tougher.
bells out of it with your Danax while I laugh my head off. And
Yeah.
the viewers as well.
I hate printers.
You could put it on trial.
You run out of water already?
Yeah. Oh.
You must be thirsty.
No, it's Friday. Boom.
Oh yeah, actually Wednesday.
I know.
I know. So but there's some videos ideas, and we are going to record some more trailer reviews. And I was suggested the other day from the Gold of Green Men and Woodrose, well, they basically talked about how they loved the Robin Hood Shorewood series.
Oh, the pagan one.
Yeah.
I think that was a fantastic series.
So I think I've got that on available to watch.
I used to have it, but I used to watch it actually at Typebeer's house as well, because he had a whole load of them
Oh yeah.
in VHS.
I can remember when I was round his house once, and I had a massive pile of big VHS fall on top of me. It was quite freaking scary at the time, and I was like sitting in the chair, and imagine you got a massive pile of videos here, and I think there's all Star Trek videos,
Yeah,
as he's a
would be.
bit of a Star Trek fan, so same
Big.
here. And there's like 100 of videos here, and suddenly they all fell on top of me.
Yeah,
I was quite alarmed by that,
yeah.
for various reasons.
You got to miss him, though, haven't you?
Yeah.
I've never met anybody like him, bless him.
Oh yeah, we do love him, don't we? So hello Tick here, if you're watching
Yeah,
this.
but yeah, hi,
Yeah, well,
Tyke,
you may
yeah.
not go that far, but yeah. You know, great to see you back on the channel one day, you never know. So yeah, so we are working on some more video ideas. We're going to do some more trailer reviews. I think we could do an episode by episode review of Robin of Shorewood.
Yeah.
And probably a video to start off just talking about it.
I remember when it came out, the controversy, they were trying to ban it
Well, why was it controversial then?
because it was based on paganism. You had the...
Was it really so bad in the 80s?
No, I thought it was amazing. I loved it.
No,
you
as
know.
in for pagans.
It's changed a lot, I think, since that law was brought in. You had to be careful who you say you were pagan to in those days. As a guy I used to work with when I was in a factory, my dad knew his dad, and I'd known him since he was... And as soon as he heard I was pagan, he turned around and said, I want nothing more to do with you.
No.
I hate you.
There's some
and
very
curse
narrow-minded people out there.
you. Well, it was one of these... It was... I can't remember, it was some Christian sect rather than...
It's not as if pagan practice and worship black magic, is it? You know, an evil craft. It's not.
The only black magic I like comes in a box.
Did you get them?
Chocolates. Oh yeah.
I thought they went out years ago.
Yeah, get out there, man.
So we've got some of those ideas on the go. We've got lots of folk tales told and ready to publish. So at the moment, if you give us an idea, so let's say Theomir or Chiita gave us an idea saying, well, can you do a video on, let's say, the Godwins? Now, we could film that today or next week, but you won't see it for probably about a month to 6 weeks because of the fact we've got so many videos scheduled. Now, this Saturday we've got a video which you've already seen, would be the same video where I sewed up your scram sack.
Oh right, yeah.
So that'll be out this Saturday and they would have seen it by then.
I was wondering when you were saying about sewing. Oh, hang on. He sewed his breeches. I don't know.
No.
No, it's my scabbard.
I will do some more sewing on camera.
What were you going to say then? Okay.
So we're now going to talk about the 9 worlds, and I'm going to leave this section for Eggle, for Eggle's Corner. I can put some water in there for you.
That'd be groovy gravy. Now, I'm going to do a bit of advertising. The Norse Myths and Sagas by Kevin Crossley Holland. It is a fantastic book. It's where I do my sagas from. The main reason I'm doing this, just take the dust cover off, and here is a picture of the 9 worlds. Can you see that all right?
I would have thought so. And let me just cut in here. Now, when I do become affiliated when we do on Amazon, and if I can find this book for sale on Amazon, I will put affiliated link in. So, but there won't be one there at the moment. We're not affiliated, but in the future I'll go back and put one in.
This one's a signed copy.
Oh yes, he's a very nice man, Kevin Crossley Holland.
Well, it's funny really because his daughter was in the same college I was when I was at uni.
Oh yes.
Because we used to keep getting each other's post mail to American people. Okay, so this basically is an illustration. It's a modern one, yeah. You have the Yggdrasil, the world tree, and it's the pillar of the world holding up the world.
Yes.
You have the eagle that sees everything, that has a kestrel between its eyes, but the tree itself is under attack. The deer here are nibbling its shoots. Then you have Ratatosk. He gets all rumours and gossip and goes down to Nidhogg, down in Nilfhelm, and stirs up trouble.
Oh yes.
You've got Midgard, that's where we live.
Hello. It's all around us.
You have Asgard at the top where the gods are, and beneath, as I say, Nilfhelm, and that's where, well, I mean, hell is there, but hell it's not like the Christian hell. Now, when you first die, according to Viking religion, you go to hell, not because you've been a bad boy or girl, it's because they're sorting out where you've got to go to. So, this is just hypothetical. Say Braggy here gets killed in the battle.
Die!
Oh, boo-hoo. He's sent to
You
hell.
can have my sword.
Oh, thank you. He goes to hell, represented by a goddess who is half beautiful and half a rotting corpse.
Which half?
Some say it's the bottom half that's rotten, others say it's the top. He pays him money, he takes your choice.
Yeah.
We're all going to find out one day.
Well,
anyway.
indeed we will.
Anyway, and there he goes. Here we go. He's off to Valhalla. But hang on, he died at sea.
Oh yeah. Did that drown? Probably.
Yeah, you
That's probably in between Iceland and Greenland.
or even Tesco and Sainsbury's. So if you died at sea, you'd go to the Hall of Njord.
Yes.
And it sorting out categories like that is what they did. So hell is a different place. Also, it's freezing cold apparently, not red hot. So
No, right.
I mean, people forget that the devil that they Christians talk about is based on a Celtic god.
Yes,
of
of
the
course.
forest, the horned god. It's a sad fact that the gods of the old religion become the demons of the new religion.
It is a bit sad that.
Yeah, which Christians I think are going to find out sooner rather than later. But hey, I'm not here to
Disrespectful
judge.
to the older religion, but then again those are the times they lived in.
Well, such is life. So, you know, the 9 heavens is a very complex thing. I've only just touched
Yeah.
the very surface of it, so I apologise.
It was only a brief chat about the 9 worlds, and no doubt you could make a video on the 9 worlds at some point.
I think we can make several,
Yeah,
but
well,
there you go.
You can make 9 videos
Yeah.
on each world, one of each.
Now you're talking, that'd be an idea, wouldn't it?
Yeah, so, you know, that's the problem with making content. There's so much content we can do,
Yeah,
and there's, you know, we have a limited amount of time.
that's not really a problem, it keeps us in work.
You know, well, you know, like I said, it'll take many years for us to, you know, finish making content, which I don't think we'll ever
We
do.
never will. There's
And-
hundreds of sagas.
And you know, we're going to end up with a channel with thousands of videos on it. And what my main aim with this channel was to have one of the largest databases of content revolving around the sagas, but also content revolving around folk tales, which
Well.
is the original concept of the channel. You know, because there's not a lot out there, and it's you know, when we've departed and we've gone to hell and we're being judged, you know, we would have left something behind. It's a great legacy. You know,
Well, yeah, I
people
mean,
will be watching us when we're dead.
what can I say apart from woof woof, baby?
Well, rough indeed. So that's a little chat about the 9 worlds.
very brief, I apologise.
Yeah, so let's, before, I'm going to skip the next section towards the end. We're going to talk about the ninth vlog, with this being a special vlog. It's certainly special to me being the ninth vlog. One thing I found quite amazing is how fast the time has gone.
Yeah.
Because it hardly seems that it's been 3 months now we've been filming.
Well,
And when you look at all the videos we produce a lot of decent content out there. Even though in the beginning we had a not brilliant camera, and now we do have a much better camera thanks to Anthony. Hello Anthony. Hope to get you out here one day training you. I'll promise to take it easy.
I think it sounds like he's got to wear a nappy.
So what do you think about the ninth vlog?
Oh, it's wonderful. It's the ninth vlog. I mean, there's not much you can say other than let's look forward to the 10th vlog.
Oh yes, we'll be filming that next week. So if you have any comments or questions for the ninth vlog, I urge you to go and leave them in the comments, and also urge you, more importantly, to go and share it and invite your friends to the channel.
Yeah.
We need more subs, we need more viewers. We have special shout outs ready to be published, you know, so let's get them on the way. Let's get to 1,000. So
catch the fever.
And let's talk about last week's vlog. Now, it wasn't the best vlog, being one a little bit shorter than what it should have been, and with the battery issues, it kind of meant we didn't record some of it, and therefore had to go back. So I do apologise for that. Certainly this vlog is going to be a lot longer.
Yeah, well, as I say, you're only human, mistakes are made and accidents happen.
Yeah, well, this is a learning curve. I probably would invest another £20 and a decent battery pack and have a second one. Hopefully we're still recording. I'm often to get up and have a look, but kind of be rude, wouldn't it? So
I'm sure they forgive you.
no, well, I think we should be all right.
Especially if we're talking to.
No, well, we should be okay, because A, we've got a full battery pack on the camera, and secondly, the camera was at 100% charged up, and with the battery pack, it'll just keep at 100%. So we won't get in a situation where last week we ended down to 30-40%, and then got to the point where we got past below 20 and we couldn't record.
Yeah.
So these are a learning curve. You know, if you do use a mobile phone, I do urge you to go out and buy a good battery pack. That certainly revolutionised our recording ability. We can basically double the amount of time. You know, we can generally on a session when we'll record about 3 hours of content, and we could double that. Not that we will do, because it's more time, but it gives us the ability.
I've got to be honest, I'm just eye candy on this show.
Well, someone has to be.
Well, yeah, what can I say?
Oh yes, so if you ever need a model, is Eggle's ready to be hired.
Woohoo!
Oh yes.
Yeah. Okay, so
we're now on the first vlog. We did the first section of the vlog on the first episode. If you've not seen the first episode of the vlog series, I will put it in a card up there for you. And if I remember, can you see it, Eggle?
up in the tree.
Yeah, no, not in the trees. It's right here. And one thing I did learn about the live stream, if we're live streaming and the camera's facing the opposite way, we've got to point this way now.
Yeah.
I know, you know, it's more complicated. Anyway.
A bit technical, mate. Yeah.
So, on the first episode, we did an interview with Eggle, so let's do an interview again. Yeah, so how do you feel now after you've done all this content about the channel?
I feel fine. I enjoy doing it. It's a bit of fun, and hopefully we're informative as well as fun. Because
I do have some questions from the subscribers, and I'll read them to you, or you can read them to yourself if you take a page each.
Okay.
On the section where we do the comments and questions from the subs. So, I was being kind.
Okay,
so I'm not finished with the interview yet. Interview exists with more than one question. So throughout all your time in reenacting, what's been your most fun experience reenacting?
I don't know, to be honest with you, there's been so many. I did reenactment, if I'm being honest, to get away from my mother. I was getting a bit smothered.
I can understand that.
And I'm pretty sure she was getting a bit teed off with me. And I used to travel all over the country, especially down south, and used to meet people, majority of which were pleasant people. And it was fun to see how the group developed before we all got too political and too silly over things. And now it doesn't exist. Boo-hoo.
Is there lots?
But I met quite a few I met. So I met this character.
Oh yes, back in what, 98, 99?
Oh,
In the last century.
when God was a child. But
I was a child then.
yeah. I mean,
Not far off.
I'd met so many people there, and it's interesting to see which way they've gone. I mean, I met Taikir, I met Niall.
Sinbad.
Sinbad, yeah. Took me about 3 years to realise his real name was Nigel.
Nigel, yes.
But,
He doesn't look like a Nigel, does he?
Nah, more an Uberon.
Yeah.
But
The thing
no,
in Take doesn't really look like a Graham, or does he?
it's a funny thing actually.
I mean, I'm not possibly telling you my real name.
Well, Andrew.
I know, we've got to have that.
Oh, mine's Simon.
Well, yeah, well.
Anyway, I was at my brother's houseboat, sounds very posh,
Sure, that.
in
does.
Shoeburyness. And we were talking about this where we used to go around schools. And he said, it's middle class. I said, no, it's not. It's what they call then. I said, Graham, Nigel and Simon. Yeah, you've got a point. But yeah, I've had some good times. There was some, I won't say bad times, silly times.
Well, perhaps we'll ask that. What's been your worst experience Viking reenacting?
Good friends falling out over stupid
Yeah,
things.
I have to probably agree with that.
Yeah.
I mean, we've all had bad experiences, but seeing how politics can ruin reenacting,
Well, it ruined a group, and
It did ruin a group.
It ruined, for me, a good friendship, which I think is still intact with reservations. But you know, it's just that people get embroiled in their character. I mean, if I was the character I would be in Broadmoor. You know, I'm a pagan mercenary and a slave. You
well,
know?
yeah.
But I mean, this guy, I think he's just got a bit. It's the same in any reenactment society. If you're a leader, you tend to think you're a leader, full stop, even when you're signing on.
Well, people's egos
Yeah.
can take over, even without them knowing. But you do get a lot of this in Viking reenacting.
Well, it's in
I mean,
any, yeah.
What we have to remember is that you're reenacting and you're there to have fun. And if you're not having fun, then you know there's something very wrong. And as soon as politics steps into it, that's it. You've got to bang it on the head and stop that politics and
Yeah.
remind people that you're there to have fun and to entertain the public in the daytime.
I'm afraid Derby Group was worst of all with it. I mean, I was in it 13 years,
Oh yeah.
9 of which was all political, and I thought, well, it's a shame because they're all decent people in that band.
Yeah.
One or two, which are obviously we're not going to mention. But go out and enjoy yourselves. That's what I used to do. I used to like to go out, have a good bottle of wine and a burger, tell everybody how good I am. Wake up next morning, do breakfast for me and my mates, and have a battle. Come back at night, do the same, and it was great. For 48 hours you could be whoever you wanted to be. But Sunday night I was back home, I was on the dole living with my mother. You know, got me through.
What was the best battle you took place in?
I've had some great battles at York, in the Eye of York.
Oh yes.
I also had a very amusing one. My first battle at the Eye of York, it was snowing. And I thought, I know from my old TA days, wear tights underneath your trousers.
Oh right.
So I did. And I lasted about 3 seconds, like you do in your first battle. And I was laying there and I could see out the corner of my eye this gal going like this. And I looked down and my trousers had split. And you could see the reinforcing at the top that they thought I must have been some kind of pervert wearing stockings. But yeah, it's good fun. But anybody out there doing a reenactment battle, when the press say look at me, don't. Because I did and I got about 20 spears in me. But it's good fun.
But you died a good way there.
Yeah, I was like a pincushion. I wouldn't have minded it was less than half a minute before I got done. But yeah, it's well worth it. But don't take yourself too seriously.
No.
Look on it this way. It's more like a game of cowboys and Indians.
Yeah.
But you've researched it.
Just take loads of beer with you, have lots of fun, and leave all your politics back home.
Ooh,
And if anybody starts off with politics, well, you give them a good
Same.
time off,
Yeah.
slap around the head and
Yeah.
say, "Oh, back in here,
Yeah.
we're not here for that."
But people formed alliances, things like that. Then those alliances, it destroys it. And it's such a shame because Derby was a beautiful group.
It was a beautiful group.
We had 30 warriors.
Oh yeah, we were very
One
tough
time.
towards the
Yeah.
end of the days. In fact, I think we were one of the toughest groups in the society.
And it's Kim is now dead, bless him.
Oh, Kim Sidham,
Yeah,
yes.
he was a good lad, I liked him. Said, when you field 15, 30 warriors again, we'll take notice of it. And you've got a point. It's not about politics, it's about having fun and educating people.
Yeah, people forget that. So what's it like then being back in your kit on a regular basis now?
It's quite good actually. The only thing that annoys me, well, these putties are a pain to put on and take off, and Grandpa's belt does have a life of its own. But these are quite comfortable, and this is the secret of any kit you have, and I think you'll agree. Make sure you're comfortable.
You've got to be comfortable in the kit you wear. There's nothing worse than a badly fitting pair of boots, or your trousers are too,
I remember-
short, or they don't tie up.
I remember we used to do the march from the Bay Horse to the...
Yes.
I was walking through Yorvik, my belt fell off, and I had to stop, put my belt on and then run to catch
Well, there's
up.
nothing worse when you're doing a march. I remember doing one at Ambigate and we was marching down the
Yeah, I remember that.
A6, and all the time our trousers kept on trying to fall down. And I had a Dane in one hand and my hand on my trousers and the other with a shield.
That was quite an interesting day though.
It was very
Yeah.
interesting, and it was going back some years, that is.
Right, go on, yeah. See,
I can't remember the battle.
no,
I remember catching a random lift off somebody at the petrol station because I couldn't get down to the march. So I just grabbed this woman and said, "Oi, I'm a Viking, I need a lift." And she said, "Oh, I get in the car quick."
probably terrified the
Yeah, I probably did terrify her. And she dropped me off further down the road where the march was about to start. I remember that.
It was quite a walk. I remember I did that in Mail.
Yes.
But
I'm not really fit enough to wear mail at the moment.
wasn't that, was it Bungalow who organised that?
No, it was, would it be under the Derby group or was it under Asians? Derby group, wasn't it?
Derby Group, yeah.
Well, it must have been Watkins. Was he the leader then?
John Watkins, possibly.
Or was it even-
If you're watching, John, and you can remember, let us know, mate.
Does he watch?
I've no idea.
I suppose if he watches, he would have had to come on by now, advertise some of his wares. Anyway, that's another subject, and perhaps we could do that one day. Interview a trader.
If he slips us some kit, I'm sure.
Well,
we'll
if you
be
give us
on
some
it.
free kit, Mr. Watkins, we will give you a good review.
No, I'm saying nothing. But yeah. Okay, yeah, so that's
I'm trying to
reminiscent time.
Any more questions I can ask Eggle?
I love
What was your
chocolate
first
ice
bit of
cream.
kit you brought then?
First piece of kit. Now, when I was a member of the Viking Age as it was then. We used to go around the charity shops buying blankets to make kit.
Yeah, you can get good things at charity shop.
And I got this pink blanket. I mean, when I say pink, I mean pink! You know the Pink Panther?
Yeah, I've got some pink blankets. You want a pink cloak? Nathan?
It was pinker than that even. And
I know somebody who wears a pink cloak.
I made these trousers that sort of said pink. So I dyed them and they came out a nice terracotta colour. But that was my first bit of kit I made. My tunic scouter was made for me
Check
by
the camera.
November.
I know it's rude on me.
And
Oh, yeah, we're all right.
oh, we're all right, are we?
50 minutes in.
Oh, bless you.
I wouldn't normally do that.
But yeah, my trousers were the first piece of kit I actually made. I dyed them in the bath at the university.
I bet I love that. You weren't in the bath at the same time, were you?
No.
It's like the old phase when you used to get in the bath with jeans on, wasn't it? To swing them.
Yeah, well, they're pretty shrunk now. But anyway, those were great days because in those days you could go in and get a mink coat because fur was not the thing now. But now you never see fur coats at all.
That's one of the things with being a Dark Age reenactor is that occasionally we do wear fur. But it's one of the things, well, you can't really wear fake fur being a Viking, can you? So
Well, you could tell fake for a
Just
mile.
have to forgive us when you see my dead deer on the wall. Anyway, so what's your best bit of kit you've ever bought? As I mean kit, I mean costume or your costume or maybe a sword.
To be honest, this made by John Watkins,
Yeah, I got
his
one of them.
brother. Yeah,
Tony.
It's sharp. Tony Watkins.
Yeah.
Isn't it? But anyway, I bought this off of John Watkins, his brother, and I've got to say it's an amazing piece of kit.
He does nice work,
Yeah.
does Tony.
And the sword was a bargain. I got it from a second hand. Well, off Tykea. One member sold it to Tykea. There you go. And I paid £35 for this.
No, that's good, that.
Yeah. She's been a good old girl. She's been with me a few years. I did buy a sword, and it snapped at a school show.
What happened to that blade then?
It was made into a scram sax, and after that, I don't know what happened to it. I think it just gave it away. But it was a big shame, because I worked at
Yeah, well,
Prose
cheap
and-
swords can break, especially some of the Indian-made ones and the Chinese swords.
This didn't help, because I was chopping stones in Ireland. I was getting angry.
Well, at that point, not the
Yeah.
best thing to do.
No.
Well, anyway, so we've had a little bit of an interview with Eggle, and we've got some questions coming your way from the subscribers. So we'll do that now.
I'll put my horn down.
Yeah.
Coffee's getting cold.
I don't know which one you want. Do you want the short, longer one?
Right, do you want me to start?
You can. You read a comment, now I'll read a comment.
Tecto Saga. Really like the Dibner style end to this vid, and yes, I did like the story.
Now, if you're not sure what that was about, I can demonstrate that to you. It was in the video what was published yesterday. That's the Tuesday. I think that's the tale of the sons who salted their father's corpse. And basically, when I got up to finish it, I went like this, and I went, "Did you enjoy that about here?" So that's where that refers to, and it's just Fred Dibner. He would have to say, wouldn't he? Did you enjoy that, youth?
You alright?
So, so I have a comment from Magpie 5678. Hello, Magpie.
Hi.
Thank you for reading my comment. And will you guys do another live stream so I can ask some questions such as who were the Rush, what was the Danelaw, the 5 boroughs, etc.
Ooh, now you're talking.
Yeah, well, I've also made a note of those 3 ideas of content on our board, so we will make videos on them. We have recorded a video where we talk about Rush kit and where an Eggle talks about it. And yes, we will be doing more live streams. I'm not sure we're doing one today, as it's a little bit too warm. And I think we might try one next week, shall we?
Sure.
So the next live stream will be next week, unless I do some on my own. Because I've been thinking about doing some.
Uh-huh.
I'll just be doing some sewing and general talking, but actually if I do my own live streams, and the channel could really do with it to up the views and the comments, I won't be able to answer every comment. Some of the comments will be beyond my ability to answer. I can answer the best with what I think, but being not a trained archaeologist like Eggle here is, those questions will be referred on for a Q&A at some point.
Okay, I now have a comment from the Guild of Greedmen and Wood Wasps.
Hello, Thurbert.
Hi,
How are
you
you?
doing there? Well, I've actually got 2.
Yeah, there are 2 comments.
Well, it goes, bah, more Romano-British propaganda, make Britain England again. I'm with you on that one, bro.
Yeah, I'll read the next comment, and then we'll just do that. One comment each. So we have a comment from one of our favourite subs here, Chita.
Hi, Chita.
Question for Eggle interview. So this is your question.
All right.
When did you get into Viking Age, and how did you start reenacting?
Right, we go back into the misty times of when I was 8 years old. I was the worst kid in the class. If it was broken, it was me. If somebody had a black eye, it was down to me. And
Was it you?
yeah,
Right.
the teacher had sort of given up and was talking about the anglo-saxons at the time, the deaf and boulder. At that time, I was literally punching this kid. I got his head like that.
I think you said this before.
Yeah, and she said the magic phrase, and they used to kill priests. And I literally threw this kid on the floor, and I was there.
Yeah, we don't recommend beating up children in glasses these days. Those were different school days, weren't they? I'd imagine.
Anyway, be that as it may, and I was into the Vikings ever since because they are the bad boys. They were always looked on as, pushed out of the way, and I know how that feels. And one of my best frenemies, he was a Methodist and thought he walked on water. So, yeah. And as for getting into reenactment, well, I did archaeology and history at York, and Jorvik had it was more skills rather than fighting. And I hadn't got any money like all students. I'd heard about it, so I called down. Officially we were supposed to finish at 10 o'clock at night. 3 o'clock in the morning we are still sewing, and I did bone carving.
Yeah.
And it sort of snowballed from there.
Oh, I'll get you some bones then. So you got a lot to owe to that teacher then, really.
Oh,
And that kid you were beating up.
I can't remember the kid, but the teacher was Miss Nightingale. And by the way, Miss Nightingale, don't steal pencils. I want my 2 pencils back. There you go.
How many years ago was that?
It would be 1963.
Do you think you still have them?
I don't care if she's a thieving.
You can get you 2 new pencils.
Yeah.
That's the least you could do for you.
My mum bought them. They were 4p each.
Oh, so there you go for that
stole
one. Excellent question there, cheater.
Okay, and now from the Guild of Green Men and Woodworths, again, hi.
Hello.
What are your thoughts about Richard Carpenter's Robin of Sherwood series, which ran from 1984 to 1986? I grew up watching that show. Historically, it took a lot of liberties, but I loved it. It's probably all my favourite television shows. Game of Thrones, can't touch it. Herne the Hunter and the Hooded Man. Yeah.
Yeah, great characters.
I know what you mean. It did take liberties, I suppose, but it gave a sense of well-being. I don't know. I think you know what I mean. You saw Herne the Hunter, and it was, comfortable. I felt it was right.
We've got 2 coffees going cold there,
right.
never mind. It's one of those, I don't know about you, but whenever I think of Robin of Sherwood, I always get the music in my mind and the imagery of the Herne the Hunter in the mist. I don't know about you. I have that quite vividly, the memories of it.
I mean, at the time, I remember it was being vilified by the press because it was pagan. But I think that added to it because you're living in the woods, you're going to be more at one with your environment, and I enjoyed it.
So when you watched it in America, Thorbert, was it on at the same time in the UK? So between 1983-86? So I don't recall watching it as a child.
Well,
I think I watched it probably in the late 80s, because in 83 I would have been 7, 6, 7.
I've got so much older than that.
I forget how old I am some days. So I don't think I would have originally have seen it. It would have been past my bedtime, I think. But I must have watched it even in the late 80s and 90s.
I remember it being on Saturday afternoons at about 5 o'clock. So
See, I started watching it last night again. I watched the first 2 episodes and I really did enjoy it.
I thought the first part was better with Michael Praeder's Robin. It was a bit of a stretch to have Jason Connery, blonde, suddenly turn out the forest from a dark-haired tall man.
Yeah, I mean some of the kit was wrong, but then again it was the 80s and you could fundamentally forgive that.
No, I just enjoyed the story.
It was what it was, and it's a thoroughly enjoyable series. It's one I highly recommend.
The one I remember, I remember several, but when Richard came back, called The King's Fall.
I mean, if we become affiliated with Amazon, we could recommend the box set perhaps. So, I must stop saying in videos. But you do that when you think. So I thoroughly enjoyed that episode and that series, and I'm going to watch some more tonight. So my question then. So We have another comment from Cheetah. Can't believe it's the 8th vlog already. Time goes by fast. Can't wait for the next incredible 9th vlog.
Well, here we are.
And hopefully this vlog will also be the longest vlog so far of the series. So thank you very much for that comment there, Cheetah. I can't believe it's the 9th vlog either.
Yeah, and I have a comment from the Guild of Green Men and Woodwas.
Hello. Good health.
I've enjoyed catching up on the videos today. I was busy for a couple of weeks getting ready for the Midsummer Gathering. I hope that you chaps had a merry midsummer. Thanks a lot for that. Thorbert, yeah. I enjoyed myself as per usual. Unfortunately, I didn't have a ceremony because there's a future question which we'll click on with this later on.
Oh, right, look forward to that.
But yeah.
Neither of us belong to any pagan groups.
I do.
I certainly don't. So,
I belong to the...
I remember the day and I had a nice glass of wine to celebrate and a bit of mead later on.
I'm with the Pagan Fellowship.
Yeah, well, I think that is later on, isn't it?
Yeah,
So.
we'll talk about that one later on. And over to you, Raggy.
Right, we have just a comment here from Sagas. You'll like this one.
Yo, Tecto.
Onion, cool.
Yeah, I forgot the extra riddle book again. But yeah.
I just thought I'd get that one in because it's quite traditional to have the onion comment in there.
Is that it?
No.
I'm going to say.
Your go.
Oh, my go. Magpie 5678. Awesome trailer review. I knew the battle scene was of Hadrian's Wall, but what I don't understand is where the Saxons hired to fight the Picts, or was it done historically? Because I don't remember getting hired in the movie. It seems like they just showed up and decided to fight the Picts. Yeah, they weren't hired to fight the Picts as far as I know.
No.
I think the Picts could take care of themselves.
Well, fundamentally so. They was well known for being good warriors.
This is the one about Arthur.
That's Arthur,
yeah.
Legend of the Sword trailer review.
Yeah.
If you've not seen that video, I'll put it in a card. Like I say, if I remember, I'll put it in there.
It's a difficult one because they have taken historical bits and mixed it with fantasy, and it's difficult. I'll be honest, I don't know what the Saxons did in Scotland. If they were wise, they would have kept clear of it because
well, yeah,
a lot of fierce guys.
Nobody wants to mess with us mad Scotsmen, do they?
Even today. So
I have a little bit of a follow up on that because I did leave a comment on that because I thought it was quite interesting, and whether it was the post Angus and Horsa. Was the film set post them or was it before them? I'm assuming it's post.
I couldn't tell you. I
think
looking at it like you say, I think it's post Angus.
That's my feeling. That's what my intuition told me.
Because what it's basically doing is the Battle of Mount Baden, which we don't know where it was or how, but we know that
another lost battlefield.
Well, we know the Saxons came second. That's about as far as it goes, really. But I like the film. I know there's some glaring mistakes in it, but you know, when you got your feet up and a nice cup of coffee.
Yeah, so it's a very interesting comment that, and I just thought that was an interesting reply from me. So,
okay.
So next one from me, and this is from Sagas.
Hi, Tecto.
This is a bit of a controversial one. This one.
Is it? Oh dear.
Snottingham man.
Snottingham.
Little man. The Ardeby man. Mickle man. Sorry about the spelling.
So. Say it again.
I'll say it again.
Snottingham was one of the villages. There was Snotting and Hammer joined together, became Snottingham, and which became Nottingham.
Nottingham. I do think they should have a campaign to bring back the S.
Bring the snot back.
Yes.
Nottingham.
You should appreciate your heritage. We don't call it Irby, do we? No.
And what's the next one?
So, and he says Snottingham man, a little man.
Little manly. That's sexually derogative.
And Derby man, Mickle man.
Ah, Derby man.
Now you know what he's on about.
Mickle man. Mickle means big.
Yeah.
Best case of that is if you go to York, you find Micklegate, which is Big Street.
Of course, locally we've got Littleover
Yeah.
and Mickleover.
And
They're
al-
two suburbs of Derby, and they translate as Small Hill and Big Hill, isn't it?
Yeah.
So there's that one.
I was going to say something, it's completely gone out of my head.
I know that happens in videos like this.
Okay. And we have a comment from the Guild of Greenmen and Woodross. Hi guys. Nice
Hello.
to-
What's hail?
And I'd like to hear how Egil came to be an Odinist, and what was your experience with it, with the Odinic Fellowship in like? Have you been to the temple in Newcastle, Nottinghamshire?
I didn't know they had one in New York.
Oh, yeah.
How do you get to go there then?
Well, if you drive a lorry, straight through the front wall, because it crashed into it.
Oh,
Okay, right. How did I become Odinic? Well, when I was a child, it's very difficult, my religious upbringing, because my great-grandmother was Jewish, my mother was brought up Catholic, and I was baptised Church of England,
same here.
Now, I went to my cousin's wedding, and it was a Roman Catholic High Mass, and I had to kneel down, which didn't bode well with me. And then I heard this phrase that I am not worthy enough to eat the crumbs from under your table. I nearly stood up. I was actually pulled down because I said, not only am I fit to eat at the table, I'm fit to eat at the head of the table. I should have seen the other signs then. Years passed in abject misery as I got spiritually screwed.
Yeah.
I would be about 1980. There was a book club. My mum says, what do you want for Christmas?
I was 4.
And I looked and I saw a book of rune stones.
Oh yeah.
I said, I'll have them. I got it, it's Ralph Bloom's book.
Yeah, I know that one.
Yeah. And I still use the stones today. And I looked at that and I thought, something was a bit... Then I got Tony Willis's book, the Runic Workbook, and that really set me off. I can honestly say that book changed my
It's
life.
another good book.
Yeah, well, I won't go into it. Let's just say we don't have contact anymore.
Fair enough.
But I started casting when I was in university, and I also went on a 4-year course called Northworthy, which was really hard work, but it was worth it. I don't think they still do it now. And I originally joined the Odinic Rite, like a lot of the fellowship, but it's sort of, there were things we didn't agree with, so I left that, and then I joined the Odinic Fellowship, and I have to say, I've been totally ignored. I live in Derby. I've met one member of the Odinic Fellowship, who I think now lives in Belper. I wrote to the head of Odinic Fellowship saying, look, Derby is a Viking town, I would be more than happy to take you around, and was totally ignored. And
Not very good, is it?
no, I think that's very bad.
It is bad.
One thing I don't agree with is temples.
I mean, Vikings were well known for courtesy, weren't they? So to say.
Also, you'll understand this, this is the temple. The
But we're on it,
earth.
we live on it.
Yeah, it isn't in some old church, it isn't in some old shed. I haven't been to the temple at Newark, I've seen pictures of it.
Never saw God made the church.
No, but it is really nice. They've done a great job on it. But I miss out on all their events and things like that because they send me the round robin and I get the other missives. But there's nobody, as far as I know, lives anywhere near me, so I haven't got transport. I'm a bit miffed about it, but it's not a deal breaker.
I can understand that.
I tend to practice on my own.
You're a bit like a hedge
Yeah,
Viking then.
Edgevitki. But
I don't know a few hedge
Yeah.
witches.
yeah, I know one. She's brilliant, but she doesn't talk to me anymore. So anyway, that's basically how I became a pagan. It wasn't easy. It's quite amazing how much Christianity is indoctrinating in you, and you'll appreciate this. I once did a astral projection. I was talking to Odin himself, and I said something, and as I went away, he kicked me up the backside and said, "Stop being so Christian." And so yeah, that's what I like about Odinic faith. You don't agree all the time. You can moan, whinge, you complain, but when it hits the fan, you stand together, and that's it. A friend is a friend. Though he strike me, he's still being my friend, and that's a big thing. And I stand by that. I wish all of my Earth friends would like that, but let's just say we have one or two backsliders. Good question, thanks. We'll have to talk together on this.
Yeah, well, we will do a live stream with Thurberts in the future when we're both ready. So that'll be great, won't it? And perhaps we'll do a few more live streams together after that.
But if you are in Nottinghamshire, it's well worth a visit. I've seen pictures of it.
Well, you've got a long way to travel from America.
Yeah,
from
well,
Virginia.
yeah.
Virginia!
And a Confederacy boy.
And I'd just like to take this very moment to say hello to a very good friend of mine, Virginia. Hello, Virginia. She watches our content.
Alright, it's one of those chats, is it?
Yeah, so excellent question there from Thurbert. I guess it's me again. So Sagas, of course, with the
Hi,
robin
Teto.
being sacred to Thor, that's quite a blessing.
It was quite interesting. Last time we were filming, the robin actually sat on the
Camera.
And this is why we haven't got a body here.
No.
We're just hoping that the robin might land on there. If you see the robin,
We're not looking at it, so we don't know whether it's been on it or not. But it'd be very cool if we did land on it for us.
Yeah.
That'll give us all the blessing. So next comment from you then.
and this is from Chaita.
Chaita. Hello,
Yo.
Chaita.
I think there were some crossbows, the Picts used during the Dark Ages, but they were the only ones. You know more than I do on that. I know the Normans had crossbows, but
not in the days of Arthur, when they're using very clearly what looked like to be Chinese repeating crossbows.
yeah, that's where they got the idea from. But I stand corrected. They may have had
We missed
them.
that out.
Yeah, but good question, Chaita. Stay groovy.
Very good question. So I guess it's me again. We have somebody new here. This is a Kaylee Browncoat.
Hi, Kaylee.
Hello, Kaylee. I'd just like to say welcome to the channel. You're very welcome here, and thank you for your comments. Another excellent video. The Goodwinsons must have been the most unruly family in Anglo-Saxon England? I hope you do some videos about them too in the future.
The Godwinsons were a right royal pain. They were pushing to rule. It's only a matter of time before the Godwinsons took on
That
over.
was a fail.
Do you want to go and pick that up?
No, I can get my sword for that.
All right.
That's what swords are there for.
Yeah, why annoy everybody, eh? The Godwinsons were power brokers. They were a very powerful family, and they were actually exiled by Edward the Confessor, and they turned and said, no, we're not. And there was very little he could do about it. I've got a whole book on the Godwinsons, and it's quite chilling reading. Actually, Harold was probably the more affable of the lot of them. That's before he got chopped.
Yeah, well, I think we will make a video on the Goodwinsons at some
Yeah.
point. I'll do a bit of research, and no doubt Edgar will, and we'll sit down or stand up
Yeah.
perhaps for a change.
I think there's a couple of videos in there, mate.
Well, definitely.
Okay, now another one from Chaita. Always glad to hear from you. So I think I've got something in my hair there. I wish these Hollywood producers would do some research and hire a historian or two, because it's not just a fun action movie. It's the type of movie that gets people interested in history and want to learn more. They do have historical advisors. Unfortunately, they don't always follow what's there. There is a thing called the 10-foot rule, and if something looks right from 10 feet, they think it's good enough. But that's, I mean, they've historical facts, they're not as bad as they used to be. I reference you to Prince Valiant, where the Vikings got these big horns.
The 60s movie. I think it is.
With Robert Wagner, where the Vikings are worshipping at Stonehenge.
I've seen that one.
Yeah, and you got King Arthur in 14th century.
Well, there's another movie we can review in the future.
Yeah, bring a sick bag when we do, because it's a terrible film.
Well, we could have that as the worst Viking movie ever.
It has got better.
What is the worst Viking movie ever? That's the question there.
Prince
If
Valiant.
you know what the worst Viking movie is ever, then please leave it in a comment.
I tell you, one of the best, and it takes people's breath away, is actually The Vikings by Kirk Douglas.
But it is a good one. I think we're going to review that very soon.
There's one or two howlers in it, but
Well, they are.
But having said that, whoever researched that certainly knew their stuff, which will go.
I mean, that massive horn they got. I mean, where did they get a car that size? Anyway, that's another subject.
Okay, and I believe this one's yours.
Yes, this is Magpie 5678. Hello, Magpie.
Your Magpie.
Great explanation of Edward the Confessor. Never knew he was king of a famous Viking.
Yeah,
It's a good video, that.
Yeah. You see, we come into very difficult territory because we're talking about Vikings, Saxons and Normans. Well, Normans were actually only first generation Normans. They're actually Vikings.
Well, they are fundamentally so.
Saxons,
But even that, I still don't like them.
Oh well.
You're not convinced me.
It doesn't really matter as far as I'm concerned. They were over 1,000 years ago.
I know.
But
What would life be without the Normans?
without the Normans,
I think it would be a lot better.
not necessarily, because we were part of the Scandinavian Empire, whereas trade was in the Mediterranean and Central Europe. We were out of that zone.
Yeah.
If we were still part of the Scandinavian Empire, all due respect to Scandinavia, we wouldn't be in the position we're in today.
No, I suppose not.
And also half the population would still be in Normandy.
Yeah, well, depends which half.
Top half. Okay, so hang on.
Yeah, thank you for the comment on there,
Yeah.
Magpie.
Battle Agents where are we here? Right, another one from Chaita. Hi Chaita. I believe there were knights in Charlemagne's empire, but they were just mounted soldiers. Yeah, you're right there. I think knight actually derives from
Anglo-Saxon.
mounted horsemen. Sorry, I was just distracted by a large butterfly.
We've had a comment from Teto about that.
Yeah.
I can't remember it.
But yeah, knights eventually, war tactics change, you know, where you end up dressed like this guy, then you have a mail shirt, then you have plate armour, and it goes into the full plate. And of course the battle tactics change, so does the weapons. For instance, that would be no good from horseback.
No, too
Longer
long.
swords, and then eventually you get the long broadsword.
You want a nice curved blade for sword.
But anyway,
The horse, I mean.
knights in Charlemagne. Well, Charlemagne isn't particularly a favourite person of mine, as he used to persecute pagan Vikings. He was a big fan of my history supervisor at York was a big Charlemagne man, but he wrote the definitive book on the Franks. Name drop Edward James, name drop. He's now at Reading. Very educated man. So anyway, yeah, thanks for that then, Chaita. And over to you, Maggie.
Thank you, Egon. Got to see where I was. Chaita again. Marvellous and informative video. I learned a lot. Never knew the Goodwinsons were so power hungry. I don't think we pretty much talked about that. So, great comment.
They were very power hungry, to put it politely. They got their ambition in the end, a king. He didn't last long, but there you go. So,
There's another excellent question about that further down from Stefan, but you might have that one.
okay, I've got the Guild of Green Men and Wood Wasps. Bah! More Norman propaganda. Make England English again. Well, yeah, I'm with you on that.
Well, definitely, yes.
But unfortunately, like it or loathe it,
It's a scary thought that, you know, the English could be a minority in the future.
Well,
Our Saxon relatives would be not very happy.
well,
But there's a
every
way-
has its own prejudices, whether witting or unwitting. But it was once described on television, and I thought it was beautiful, that the British people are made of many metals, and forge is a very strong alloy. We just got another stream of
Well, we are
metal.
based on immigration, aren't we, in this country?
Well, I mean, I talk about me being descended from Saxons. Where do they come from?
Oh, yeah.
Saxon in
Yeah.
Germany. And I've probably got. It's whoever rode through the
I mean,
village at the
there's no
time.
such thing as a British man no more.
There never
you could
was. There never was. We delude ourselves, but
Yeah.
no, we seem to be doing all right.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
a different generation. I'm a generation behind everyone. But yeah, either it works or it doesn't.
Indeed.
And I think there's a question for you now.
No, right, is there? Is it one about the banner?
No. it's,
Oh, right, for me. Oh, right. No, all right. Safe. That's his YouTube name. Really enjoyed the story, Eggle. As always, thanks. Also, awesome development of the actual storytelling with Braggy working beside you. Almost felt as if it was living and listening to a story in the Saxon Northmen times. And that was the video of Billy where I was working on
Yeah.
the wood horse.
Yeah, to be honest with you, we both enjoyed doing it, and we will be doing more, I hope.
Yeah, you will see the shaving horse
Yeah.
a few more times.
And it's nice to have a bit of back and forth. You don't have to learn so much. But the point is, we're a team.
Yeah,
And
there's no I in
No.
team. And you know, I think about trying different things in the stories, and you will see some more different things being done in the videos. It's just it makes them different, and by having a second person doing a craft, doing something, or working on a tool or something, it just adds that more atmosphere to the videos.
Yeah.
We're not just there to sit in front of a camera and tell a story. We're also there to try to give you that feeling
We want to invite you
of
in.
the Dark Ages.
Yeah. We want to invite you in, be part of it.
Oh yeah, you're part of our
Yeah.
family, and we love you dearly, don't we, Eggle?
Oh yeah. Not in a biblical sense.
Yeah. So it's your turn. And Safe, by the way, is one of the YouTubers who subbed to us when we did the last live stream. So welcome to the channel.
Cheers.
Great to see you here. And please keep leaving your comments,
Yeah.
Safe.
I've now another comment from Chiita. Hi.
Hello.
I think this is the most accurate version of King Arthur we've got in modern film. They even got the period right. I'm with you on that, Chiita. If when I think of Arthur, I think of the Romano-British era, with the Saxons coming in.
That'll be the 2004 one. But I keep getting confused now with all the King Arthur films we
Oh,
reviewed.
yes.
Yeah, I mean, I left a comment about that and the 2004 one. I'll be very interested to see what the Excalibur film would compare like to that film, because I thought that was quite a good, film. But I've not seen Excalibur for some years.
Excalibur it's written,
1981 it came out.
but it's from Mort Arthur, which is set in sort of medieval platey armour.
Yeah,
It's-
there's some things wrong with it.
It's worth it to see Helen Mirren and Sherry Lungi.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, a lot of the people in that are dead.
Are they?
Yeah, you know the guy who played Lancelot, he died.
Yeah,
Merlin's dead.
yeah.
Yeah.
Of course, Liam Neeson did it, and I always forget that.
And the guy who played Arthur's dead.
Well, that's the way it goes, I'm
yeah.
afraid.
Well, it was a while back. It is worth watching. The music, Wagner, really.
Well, I
great.
like Wagner. Who doesn't?
But he does tackle.
Not good as Bart.
He tackles the Lancelot question.
Yeah, and I think that'll be another film we'll review as well, the Excalibur film from 1981. So, yeah, thanks for that comment. Is it your turn or my go? Your go.
Who's your go?
Oh, right. Another comment from Safe.
Safe.
This is from the Edward the Confessor video of yours. Awesome. I was unaware that Edward the Confessor was forced to marry into the Godwinson family, then became a priest to spoil their succession. Laughs out loud.
Yeah.
Brings a whole new perspective to this story for me. Many thanks, Eggle. Looking very sharp in today's vid. Looking forward to more like this.
Yeah, I mean it does sort of bring it down to family squabbles, but it shows you how powerful the Godwinson family was. They well, basically they wanted the kingship, but yeah, they got it in the end. Like I said earlier, they didn't keep it long. So we've got crows and jackdaws having a go.
Yeah, we need some ravens. I know who's looking down at us.
Yeah, I love ravens.
Who doesn't?
And now I have, this is actually related, for Stefan Milo.
Oh yes,
Hi,
yeah,
Stefan.
this is a great question and will make a great idea for a video.
Promising the crown to both people. Perhaps one of the most significant decisions in English history. Yes, it is. It's people think of the Battle of Hastings. Well, nobody sort of seems to think, well, how did this happen? It happened because Edward the Confessor was going to put the Godwinsons in a very difficult position. My God, didn't they succeed?
Well, they did, yes.
Yeah.
I mean, you could make no end of content on the Godwinsons and Edward the Confessor alone. So
Yeah, and whichever way you dress it up, it was a very important part of Britain's history. It set the seal for the medieval period and our future, whether you like it or not. It is set the seeds, as it were. We've gone then from Scandinavia to Norman, or as I like to call it, from Scandinavia to Europe. Okay, over to you.
yeah, so one
Thanks,
from
Stefan.
Tecto Sagas. This is more of a comment with a video attached to it. So if you want to go and watch this video, you have to go and look for this comment. And I think this was under last week's vlog. For those who doubted that the Duck of Evil exists, go and watch out this video. And it's just basically a massive duck on a river. And quite strangely, I watched some random TV the next day and I saw that very same duck again. So yes,
It reminds me of the first Blackadder series.
it's one of the characters being created on the channel, the Duck of Evil.
Well, they had the Duck of Taunton that cursed the whole village.
I wonder if there's a duck of goodness out there. Makes you think that, doesn't it, Tecto?
Okay, I've got one here from the Guild of Greenmen and Woodwas. Stuart, one child, became a full guildsman in the Edric Deodish Fellowship this past midsummer. He shot the video that we recently posted to our channel.
Well, congratulations on that.
Well done,
That's
mate.
congratulations, Stuart.
I'll
And thank you also for filming for Thurbert.
You'll have to post that for me so I can see it. But,
Yes.
it's always nice taking another step forward.
Well, I was thinking one Wednesday we could have a bit of time off. We'll just record the vlog, record nothing else, and go and watch some of the content we've recorded, because you don't really get to watch much.
No,
So, and we can afford to have a Wednesday off, I think.
that sounds good
We'll
to me.
just do this vlog series. We've got to do that.
And over to you.
Right. And this is a comment actually from me here. This is from Northworthy, and this is in reply to Tecto. And we got talking from the Duck of Evil. We started talking about the cow of evil for some reason, and well, we started a fellowship, and we now have the fellowship. And this is laughed out loud. This could be the start of the fellowship of the cow of evil. And so far we have 2 members of this fellowship.
Well, there's no other.
Yeah, so there's that comment. I thought it was quite funny. The fellowship of the cow of evil.
Yeah, well.
Do you want to join? Be the
Oh,
third
yeah,
member?
alright, go on then.
Just need 6 more.
We become a club. I have now another comment from the Guild of Freemen and Woodhouse.
Hello.
Hiya. Wassail Braggy.
Wassail.
Thank you for the mention regarding your shamanistic practice. Have you read Brian Bates' book, The Way of Weird? If so, I'd enjoy hearing your thoughts on it.
I've heard it, but I've never read it.
Ah, I used to have a copy. I lent it to somebody. I
Thor's
never
away
got it
with
back.
books.
And I enjoyed it, but I read it 30 years ago. I remember
Is
there
it
was.
that old?
Well, yeah, I was at university. That's where I got it. What's up, 25ish? But when they talk about the hedgehog, and at that time I was pagan, but you're sort of at the what do I do next stage, and reading that was helpful. I had another one, similar book called Daughter of the Runes, and it was a novel, but it was placing out the fact that you can be a Christian and never leave the room you're in. but to be a pagan you have to get out and be around and about, and yeah, it is a good book. I'd love to get another copy. I haven't seen it in years.
Well, perhaps we get a copy, we could review it and then put an affiliated link to it, perhaps.
I remember I enjoyed it greatly and recommend it.
Yeah, I'll look into that and possibly buy a copy to recommend.
Yeah.
So yeah, thank you very much for that, Gilbert. I think one of the best books I've read in many recent years on shamanism is a book on Polynesian shamanism. There's a problem with Western shamanism. There's not a lot of evidence left. There's not a lot of written evidence. So I found a book. It was by I think it was Dr. King. I can't remember his first name. And that was an excellent book. I found it in a random bookshop in America, in Gettysburg.
Just occurred to me, there is a great bookseller I knew in York called Ben Fernie. If you're watching Ben, hi. He runs a firm on the computer called Caduceus Books. Ben is an amazing character. I knew him at uni. And some of the books he had then were phenomenal. So to all you pagans out there, get him up on your website, have a look, and I'm sure you'll be very pleasantly surprised.
Yeah, that sounds good.
He's in Leicester now.
Is he?
Yeah, I think it's Leicester.
Right.
But he was in York.
Is it my turn or your turn?
Oh, talking about shamanism.
Yes, I think it's your go. No, it's my go.
Yeah.
Stefan Milo. Hello, Stefan. How are you? How's life in the States? I've still got to catch up with your content. I've been very busy. Great video, guys. Love the staging of it. Gives it a real everyday feel. Every day, circa 950. It does. That's again the Billy story with the shaving horse. So thank you for that.
Okay, I'm sorry about this. I normally wear glasses, so.
Right, I can help you either.
There you go. That's a mighty axe. I truly enjoyed watching your demonstration. Well done, Theobald.
That comes from the Green Men and Woodrose. The Guild of Green Men and Woodrose.
I'd like to see more about those guys.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, perhaps we'll watch a couple of videos before we go.
Maybe have a one-to-one chit-chat with you on the live stream.
Yeah, we will do that in the future when we've figured it all out.
Here's the thing. If you leave us a comment when it's more convenient, when you're all together, leave it on the comments, and then we can get in contact and have a one-to-one.
Yeah, perhaps we could even do a video conference.
Yeah.
We'll figure that one out.
Well, like I say, I'm just the eye candy.
Yeah, and the tech man, and the jiffy.
The tech dude. Okay, over to
The
you.
Tech Viking. Of course, you've got the very famous video, the Techno Viking. Have you heard of that?
No.
It's just like this dude in like, it was like in Germany or something, and he's like, there's like a parade, and he's like dancing through the street with a bare chest to some techno music, and he looks like a Viking, and it's called Techno Viking. I thought if we can get hold of a group, we could recreate that. It'd be a massive video, and it could go viral.
Yeah, the people will be in hospital when they see me.
It wasn't really have you at the front.
Cool, thank goodness for that.
I thought about having Wavy Davey, looks a bit like the part, but somehow I don't think that will happen.
Okay,
Because it would be great advertisement for their group and for us. Anyway, that's another thing. Tetto Sagas, that bench thingy, it's called a shaving horse.
Well done.
They've been around for a long time. A cunning way to hold a piece of wood, leaving both hands free for using tools. The tool looks like a draw knife, bit big for a spoke shave. Yes, it was a draw knife. It was a early 19th century draw knife, and just, you know, the style and standard hasn't really changed too much. So
Don't fix it.
oh yeah, and perhaps I'll make a video on the shaven horse. By far one of the most useful.
That sounds like a porno video, mate.
Yeah, well, that's probably just got us demonetized now. Thank you.
Yeah.
So be careful there. What's what he's saying? No, so I might do a video talking about the shaving horse.
Okay, I have a question here from Tecto Sagas. Hi Tecto. I have a question for Egil. How do you get an egg in a pork pie? Now, I will go into the realms of fantasy. First of all, you take said pork pie, you get a welding torch, and you cut the end off, which you take away. Retain that, you need it. Then you have the Barlington cone, which is a hat you put on with a hole in it.
Oh.
You secure said pork pie in a shaving horse,
Yeah.
and then you charge head down, and that bangs into the pork pie. You withdraw your head carefully, and you have a long cylinder of pork. Very important. Next you have
You
your...
thought about this, haven't you?
Next you have boiled eggs, and that's fired from a brass Napier egg firing gun.
Oh yeah, definitely an Napier one.
Depending on the size of said pork, veal and ham pie, you fire in the required number of eggs. But after each shot, you cut a slice of said cylinder of pork using a Barradale mallet and a Turner dolly. You whack this in until it's secure. Make sure, and this is important, make sure that it's secure. You must have no air there at all. And then repeat said process until all the cylinder of meat is complete. Using the mallet, you whack in the last bit. You then...
You're whacking your meat, are you?
You're on about me. You put the base of said pie and you weld it around the base. It's the same welding torch you used to mend broken biscuits.
What when you were in the Vikings, you have to do it on the forge though, wouldn't you?
Yeah, but then you leave a void at the top and pour in your jelly, let it set, and then Robert's your father's brother. So that is how we put an egg into a pork pie. Thank you. You heard it here first.
That's legendary. That is. That's groundbreaking. I've never thought I would hear that on camera, especially during a vlog. That'll go down in history. That. So I guess it's me then.
Follow that one if you can.
Katie Browncoat.
Hi, Kelly.
Great story. Love it. And I think that was to the Billy story. So thank you very much, Katie. As I said already, yeah, welcome to the channel.
Yeah. Leave some
Kaylee.
comments.
Nice to see a lady on the channel.
Yeah, well, there you go. Now I've got one from Odin. Hi, Odin.
Hello, Odin.
That's another thing you say on a daily basis. Questions for Baragi.
Oh, yes, I read this one.
Have you ever tried to make Dark Age style banner
No.
before?
I
Like
haven't.
the Vikings Raven banner. You don't really want a Raven's banner because you become Mercus Mathri, Markman. That means you die even if you win.
Oh right, no, never have made a banner. Although I have thought recently about thinking about making one, perhaps.
You did mention.
You know, it'd be great to have a banner inside for the live streaming.
Yeah.
But it's only in my mind thinking about it, so I've not got around to making one yet. And how would you start making one? I mean, as always, you have to do a bit of research. You look at existing banners, and then as an engineer, I look at the manufacturing process. Or how would they manufacture this? Hand sewing.
Or if there are any banner makers out there who'd like to make
Well,
us
yes,
one.
if you like the makers of a banner, and we'll gladly advertise you for free forever. Well, not nearly forever.
Well, maybe 1,000 years.
Yeah.
Okay, it's up to you
Oh,
now.
right. So, we have one here from Chiita.
Hi, Chita.
Congrats on 100 videos. That truly is a milestone to be proud of.
Yeah.
Yes, I think it is.
I'll be honest, I never thought we'd get this far along the road.
Did you not?
No, well, yeah, but you know, not as far.
That's not as fast.
No.
I mean,
And
but luckily we had, before we started together, we had about 50, 60 videos.
yeah,
So thanks to TK for doing all those videos. But now, you know, slowly over time, his videos will become the minority, and we'll have the majority of the videos on the channel.
it's alright, we've got some crazy flying birds
There are some
around
crazy flying birds around here today.
here. Okay, now then, we have one from Tecto Saga. Hi Tecto. Can you tell me about the banner land waster? One for Ego maybe. Cheers mate. I have to be honest, I've heard of it. I'll have to research it and I'll get back to you on it.
Yeah, well, perhaps that could be another idea for a video idea.
I know the name, but I'll have to check up on it. Crazy pigeon now. Well, and I'll get
You
back
can eat
to you.
crazy pigeons.
Not those ones, mate. But I definitely will get back to you on it, and we'll be on there. Okay, yeah.
So we have one here from Tit OA, or actually TITORAI. So Tit OA. It's actually two comments. I'll read them both.
Hi.
Your English ... so special.
Yeah.
We are English indeed. We come from England. And we have another comment from Tit Oa. Hello, Vikings from Russia. Your video the best. Well,
Cheers.
thank you very much for liking our video.
There's a lot more that we can do on that one, like the formation of Novgorod and the trade between the Rus and the natives.
Yes, we have got one video coming out soon about Rus. Welcome to the channel. It's great to see you here from Russia. It's fantastic. We welcome more Russians to the channel. If I could say hello in Russian, I would do. But I don't know how to say
All
hello.
I know is do svidaniya.
Just the yeah. What's that mean?
Or vodka tovarovich nimno groshin.
Well, there you go. So welcome.
Yeah.
Oh, please, spread the word.
Here's one from Odin. Hi Odin. Question for Egil. When did you get your first tattoo? I got my first tattoo at the age of 50. And I can hear
I
people...
remember you getting it.
Yeah, and people were saying, midlife crisis. Maybe it was, I don't know. I've now got I've got over 30 tattoos.
You're going to show off your tattoos in the video?
Well, yeah.
Most of them.
Yeah, we might get booted off the net if
It's lucky you haven't got one on your manhood, eh? That bloody hurts, I've heard.
Yeah, well, I won't be able to tell you because I'm not ever having
A
one
friend of mine
done.
was going to have his name on his old chap, but he already got initials because he couldn't stand the pain.
Getting back to the clean world, first tattoo I had was up here. It was the Futhark, and I had some Gothic runes on this arm as well. I'm a weird guy. I have to have things balanced.
Have you had any of your tattoos overdone?
No, what I
the
have
old
had,
original, not being reworked.
what I have had done, and this is from Abacus Tattoos in Derby. Well done, Stewie.
Yeah, give me some free tattoos.
Yeah.
We'll advertise it.
Well, tattoos blot out and fade. Well, Stewie said, look, I've got this new ink, doesn't fade and doesn't blot. And he did all of these for nothing.
Really?
Yeah, they don't blot. They don't blot out.
God, you must be good friends with him.
Yeah, he's a good lad.
Oh, nice.
They don't fade. They don't blot out. Especially this one. I didn't realise until we looked at it that some of the lines are blurred. So he went over the whole lot with his gun.
And was it painful?
Pain's a relative thing. I mean, what doesn't hurt me may make you hurt.
Yeah, I don't like needles.
Don't bother me at all. I've got them down actually on my spinal column, and I was talking to Stewie while he was doing it. The worst one I had was on my stomach when I first had it done. It was the third one I'd had done in a day, and it's from the Sutton Hoo helmet of a warrior riding down a warrior. And I was sweating like a fat guy in a cake shop, and it was, it's not pain as I know it. And he said, are you alright? I thought we were losing. He said, I thought I was losing, you know. But he went over it, no problem. This one, I've got two ravens here, and the raven on there I started oozing plasma, which is your body saying, don't do any more today, please.
Yeah.
So, it's, I mean, I'm lucky. I went to a very good tattooist who's got very high standards. Anybody who wants one done, I'd say go to Abacus.
Well, if you live in Virginia or Australia,
If you come to England and come to Derby,
it's a long way to go to get a tattoo.
but you'll see.
I know we're great company.
Yeah, I mean, but whatever. To our English friends, and if you fancy getting a tattoo, but one thing I will say, be absolutely sure of what you want, because you're going to have that for the rest of your life. So if you say, I can't afford a tattoo, save up for it. Don't settle for second best, because it becomes literally part of your skin. Yes, it's going to hurt. It hurts for different people. Some people, I never really got any problems. Yet others, you see them, you only have to touch them and they go, But it's different things for different people.
Can they knock you out while you're doing it? I don't know what happens.
No, but you might get knocked out if you start moving around too.
Yeah, so, any more questions from you?
I've just got one more.
Oh, you read your last one, I got one more.
Okay. Thank you guys for reading and answering my questions. I have another one for you. can you make a video on Viking long, well I say long, but long ships, and how they were made, what the dragon head meant and how sturdy they were. Yeah,
we'll do that.
I can actually tell you now what the dragon head was for.
Yeah, well, you want to tell them that, yeah.
It was detachable.
It was detachable.
It was to frighten away the land spirits or landvertier. So you come into harbour and you scare away the land spirits, it brings bad luck on your enemies. So when you went into friendly port, shields were put in, head was taken off. It also, if you saw that into a port, you knew they came to trade, not to raid. So okay.
Yeah, it's interesting how these take the dragon's head off. So. Then you had the old thing of throwing Thor statues in.
Is that for Odin?
That's from Odin,
That's from Odin. Good question. We'll do a lot more on it later.
And I've just got one last question or comment. This is from Gareth Lloyd, who's one of our relatively new subs, I think. So hello, Gareth.
Hi, Gareth.
Welcome. Oi, Braggy, you missed a card. So I just want to say thank you for putting that comment in, and that card's now there. And if you do see any missing cards, please leave me a comment on the time.
I'm laughing because when I first started, I kept forgetting it, and he was going, "Oh, do that, do that." So yeah, it's good that he slipped up on that. Nice one, Gareth.
Well, you do when you make videos and you go for your videos and as I'm a little bit more advanced at doing this than Eggle, I always remember to link the other content, because by doing that you get that content watched and it helps you spread the word. But often the case is that you put a card in, but because we don't often re-watch the video entirely, you'll fundamentally miss that card. And even though in the section where you put your card, you can just kind of skip along. I'm kind of looking for me pointing. When I see me pointing, I know there's a card there. I'm digging a deep hole, and but cards are essential. They're essential.
Leave them on a high note.
They're essential way of looking at your content, and playlists are by far the most unused item on YouTube. But anyway, that's that. Thank you for that.
Okay.
I really do appreciate it.
Let's leave on a high note. Woo-hoo!
Yeah,
Okay.
so that's the end of the vlog.
Till we meet again. And
Yes, don't forget to leave your comments for vlog 10.
Mm-hmm.
We always love your comments, and we do need them,
Yeah.
as you know, to make most of the vlog up.
Okay.
And it's
Bye.
goodbye from me.
And it's goodbye from him. My horn is empty, so it's pointless drinking. As you saw, we put it down.
Yeah.